Hey, welcome
Okay.
to. You gotta show that again because it didn't show up. Welcome to the HiPod. We got a ghost engineer here. His name is Sigafu.
Ghost engine.
Go sit down. Sit down. Yeah,
Alright,
there you
alright,
go.
alright,
All
there
right,
you
so
go.
welcome to HiPod number 5. I just wanted to do a podcast. It's been a while since we've done it last time, and been a while since I had Sigafu here. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How you doing, GPS?
Oh, dude, I'm doing great. In case you guys haven't wondered, we've been at it for a while. We actually recorded the first ever High Team video that I announced, which name still hasn't been decided yet, but it's looking pretty close. You know, I did have a competition where you can win a key if you select a good acronym for HITEAM, High Team. There was pretty good ones. So yeah. So this is Sigafu. In case you've never seen before or listened to the podcast before, he's a co-caster and super engineer extraordinaire, also known for the Sigafu save.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I like how you're laughing at that yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Keep in mind, you gotta move
yeah.
your head when you're talking, because, you know.
Hold on,
Yeah.
I'll increase my sensitivity to make it easier.
Oh, well, if you increase it too much, then it won't look too good. That's why I use Maya mode. Oh yeah, that looks good.
Oh, thank. I'm say I had Ghost NG. This must be like I don't even know. All right, hold on. I'll lower.
That was
down.
the Red Bull NG right there.
Yeah. That's still too much. I used to play like a crazy. I play it now. I play at like 14 inches per 360. I used to play it like a half inch. I can't even imagine like
Yeah, there we
what
go.
that was like.
That looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so we did the recording of High Team, which is basically us. Should we keep it a secret?
I don't know. It's your,
Yeah,
it's
let's
your
keep it a
video.
secret. Yeah, you guys can just
All right.
have to watch out for that whenever that
Yeah.
comes. Bam! Yeah.
Boom.
So there's a couple things we want to talk about. First thing that made me want to do a podcast is the charity shit that went down that I was completely oblivious to until it was over. So
I just enjoy that you call it the charity shit. Like, yeah, like,
yeah, well,
Yes.
yeah, okay. So,
Yeah, so-
why don't you
so the charity.
elaborate on that?
Yeah, so there was a charity that originally was supposed to happen. I believe it was this weekend. It's called Flares That Care. And it was run by this guy named Sloven. Or
You gotta move your
Snoven.
mouth when you're talking.
Oh, yeah, I got sorry, I forgot. Yeah. So his name was Sloven. Yeah, no, so Sloven or whatever. And so basically, this guy, he had a little bit of a sketchy past. A pyro in UGC named Degreaser. He basically went through the history of this guy's account, found out that it was like only a 6-month-old account. It was an
Oh.
alt account from his main. His main account actually had some scamming history related to it.
Oh.
And basically, yeah, just like overall kind of a sketch situation. And so then, like, he got called out on it and was like, hey, you are kind of sketchy. Should we be able to trust you? Because there's two different ways you could donate to the charity. One was directly through Child's Play's website, which is legit, and all the money would go directly to the charity. But you could also donate items. And so when donating items, it would go to him, and then it would be kind of up to him to actually go through and do that. So everybody who donated items then, so he got called out. He did not handle it in any way whatsoever that was like good. Like, all he had to do was be like, hey, listen, you know what? Yes, you're correct. I did have a sketchy past, and I was that way, but with this charity, it's completely legit. I've tracked everything, and you'll see that all of my money's going to charity, and you can track that your money's going to charity, right? That's all you had to do is create some transparency, admit to his past, and go forward, right? Easy enough. He did not do that. He kind of came in brash, upset that somebody would point out his history that was true to him, and basically so then what did he do next? So then he's like, okay, I'll return the items. And then he said, okay, I only will return items if you ask for them before this, like, in the next 24 hours. And then all of the items just got removed from his account, and he, like, basically shut down his account. So basically anybody who gave him items is SOL. And there was, like, conversations of
What
people
does
like,
SOL mean?
shit out of luck.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Anyways, and so that's basically it. And so kind of the scammer came on, and apparently, I don't know if who knows if this was his actual thing. They actually approached me, Flares That Care, to go host this or be a part of the charity event, and I actually declined because when they came to me, they didn't have a website up. Their whole Steam community page like just seemed kind of thrown together. They didn't have any scheduling whatsoever, and so it's like even if it was a real charity event, it seemed like it was going to be like one that was not going to be really put together. And I kind of like to put my name behind something that really is going to put forth the good effort. So it's like I take part of tip of the hats and try to promote that. But it's like I don't want to just like promote every charity that comes at me, because it's like I don't know, it clearly was not being put together well,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense. And so all of that happened, and the dude basically ran out of town with all of the items and did whatever he's going to do with that, probably sell them. And so then TF2 community, a bunch of really amazing people came together. I don't want to say I took a part of it. I was kind of in the Mumble for a very short time, kind of seeing there's like 20, 30 people in Mumble all talking about what they want to do, putting this event together. And that's basically tf2can.org, tf2can. It's like, if anybody can, TF2 can.
That is such a smart joke, and there's also a bird called Toucan, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's the little logo.
Dude,
so it's a toucan.
People are smart, just saying.
It's good.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Is it going on right now? I think it's going on right now.
Yeah, so it's going on. It's finishing up today. Last time I checked, I think they're at like $7,000 raised, probably over that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's just been like, everything's been planned like since. So it was created on Friday, and today's Sunday, and it's been going on live since Friday. So
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing how quickly the TF2 community has come together. A lot of high-level players, a lot of big names came together to help out with this, promote this. Yeah, I took part of the show match on Friday to kind of kick it off, which was a ton of fun. It's a pickup game between like all the top platinum players. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I imagine. All right, so here's how I saw the entire event. Someone says in chat while I'm streaming, "Hey, why are you streaming while there's a charity?" And I go, "TF2 can." Well, Flares that and then I got invited to a group called Flares That Scam. So that was the first time I heard about it, and that was after the whole incident. And I go look on the Reddit, and there's just a huge amount of thread and a bunch of information. So if I get this correctly, basically shady people create a charity where the money goes to child play. You can donate items, and they took the guy took the items and ran, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
And then some really awesome people that's really smart created this other event that's been amazing, pretty good. I watched it a little while, but yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, big ups to them, and seriously, fuck that other guy.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so that's what's been happening, some bit of a drama there. And one thing it's really hard to recover from is scamming and being back banned. Yeah, I don't think you ever recover from those kind of things. But moving on away from like charity stuff and stuff like that, you can also check them out. It's like tf2can.org, right? So
yeah, tf2can.org. The site isn't properly up right now. It was kind of just, as I said, this whole event took place in the last 72 hours, so the website, just all we have is the domain. I shouldn't say we, because it's really not me, but
Yeah.
all they have is the domain. But it was hosted on the X Television. It's had, I don't know what the view count is up to now, but it's been over like 300 people almost constantly, which is like amazing. For like a TF2 event to sustain that many people is great, and yeah, it's just really well done.
Our fellow caster friend, Get Away, will sing there earlier today. And that's when I tune out. So, we also have some other stuff happening, in Team Fortress 2. We had an update lately that fixed the gunslinger glitch, or as everyone says whenever I point out a glitch, it's a feature. Did you know? So basically what you could do before is that, I think it was statted before, but I don't think it was actually listed. It was basically with the gunslinger, you can do a combo, hit once, hit him twice, and boom, on the third hit, you get a crit. I think they removed that. I would think that was actually listed on the item when it came out, but they removed it later and just still kept that feature. But how could they ever abuse such a combo nature, Sigafu?
Well, so it actually, I should say, is like in case. So they didn't remove the actual. They didn't remove the actual triple crit punch. It was that you could not activate it by using your teammates. That's what they removed from it. And
But
so
you can still hold it?
You can still hold it, but it's only if you like hold it from hitting enemies twice. So like that is my understanding, because I think I'm fairly certain you can still hold it, but it's mostly that you can't go up to your teammate and go 1, 2, and then go run and then use your third punch on the enemy. That is no long teammates can no longer activate any of the punches in that sequence. So basically, it's like if you do get a triple punch, like it's almost guaranteed to be like a proper triple punch. Though it's actually kind of funny in the what do you want to call it, in the event on Friday. I got 2 punches off, and I was like so excited. I'm like, I got a triple punch ready. And like we go in, and I get Ubered into the last point, and I like try to punch the medic, and it was a normal punch, because like even to use the freaking 3-punch system, you have to like use glitches to utilize it, which is like so dumb. Valve,
oh, you mean
Valve,
features?
I'm looking at Valve. Valve, it's dumb.
Yeah.
It's in the gun. It just doesn't work. Anyways, and so yeah, so basically they made it. I think it's great. I think, somebody asked me about that earlier. I think Skag put it the best. Skag's another very good engineer, top-level engineer on the UGC forums, which is bad engineers just got worse, that's basically it. Is like the only time I ever saw an engineer utilize it really was engineers who I would consider to be like subpar, and so they like had to abuse glitches to like, be good. Now you actually have to use your aim and skill and all this stuff to actually get kills, guys. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know. I don't feel any sympathy, and I'm kind of glad that's done, because it was abusive, and it was just like this weird glitch where you could punch your teammates and then triple punch somebody else like an instant 190. Like that's kind of lame.
It was basically
it's gone.
The same way before. Like this is really far back, but you could actually store random crits on your melee weapon. I think this is like very early. I don't remember. It's like 2009 or something, where you could hear the crit sound, and then if you switch weapons and you switch back, you would like save the crit, because it was registering as a bullet and not a melee hit. So yeah, they changed that too. But yeah, features will be glitches, and glitches are features according to some assholes out there. But anyway, in the update we got some new sweet taunts too. I got the one for the sniper, or the 2 for the sniper. I actually bought them because I'm like, man, that guy spent time making that stuff, and it looks good here. Has the money.
Yeah. Yeah, the new taunts. Did you get the jazz one?
Yeah, I got the 2. I got my list and my saxophone.
Okay, does the list one actually pull out a list, or is it just like him crossing out his hand?
There's actually names on there. I think on my stream I actually checked out which names was on there, and Gabe was one of the names, and there was some others too. Probably some references, but he doesn't actually draw a line on the paper. But yeah, I had to use like tricks to do it. I had to take a screenshot of it and do it. I didn't save it though, but yeah, there's actual names on there, so there's like an Easter egg who's on that list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's kind of cool. I mean, the problem with Valve for a long time has been that they haven't had any what do you want to call it? Like any taunts added. Like they get new weapons, and taunts would be so slow to come into the game, and that's kind of these fun little features. But ultimately, it's like Valve just getting more money from us. Like I don't know. Like I kind of am like, this is great. I mean, I'm glad that they do support the game, and they still like do stuff for it, but they support it because they make a money off of us. Like I think the only reason, I think they do like bare minimum updates to some degree, or they try to force things down us, which just don't work. Like just optimize the game. I think that's what I want more than anything else.
Yeah,
I think
we'll get to that later too.
Optimize the game.
I'll talk about that later. But yeah, it seems like right now, I'm not sure if you remember, but TF2 has always had like this special time of when things are popular. Like when you first started getting user-generated content, it was usually hats, and then for a period it was sunglasses, and then after that it was shoes, and then after that it was jackets, and then it just goes on and on and on until we had every single piece of clothing we can have, and then there was pants for a while. There was pants, and now it's like, well, we've used sunglasses, hats, pants, gloves, shoes. So what do we do now? And they're like, taunts. That's a new thing. Taunts. Bam. Sell that shit. Look at them charts. So yeah, that's like the thing about it is like the period right now is probably going to change. It's going to be taunts, and then next summer it's going to be something different, like maps.
No, maps never go in style. People want to play. I want my Dust Bowl, and I want it 24/7.
Yeah, and I want to play on the red team and be a demo man.
Oh yeah, man. I just the only thing I wish, just this random one-off from this is, God, I really want someone to make a proper TC map. TC Hydro was my favorite, the only map I played. I played on 24/7 servers when the game first came out, and I really wish that TC maps were a thing. because it creates so much dynamicness to the game of like, you know, fighting the battle or losing the battle did not lose you the war, which I think is a really cool concept.
Yeah.
Versus like, you know, trying to fight against the inevitable, you're always kind of in it, and you can always kind of turn back and like, you know, you can fight back, and then once you got to your last point, you're pretty much screwed. But that's kind of the nature of it. Anyways.
I hope they add more maps, because basically like we've had enough hats, and I think more maps would be good. So if they can develop some kind of good way to do that, that would be really cool. I mean, we have the beta maps, which are not finished, because apparently maps take a really long time to make, because it's, you know, hard. But yeah, what I want to like reflect back on, you managed like optimization. We know that Source 2 is coming, and I think TF2 is going to be in that, because we had the leaked photo, and it had a folder named TF and Counter-Strike, and it was, what else? Dota and Half-Life 3 was in that folder, and it seems to be legit. So hopefully, the reason we haven't gotten a lot of updates is probably because they're working on Source 2, but the main problem with Valve is they're fucking terrible at communication and setting expectations. That's one thing. It's like, just look at End of the Line. They could have said, End of the Line will be a community-driven update similar to Robotic Bangalore, and people would not flip their shit when they didn't add new weapons.
Right.
But they didn't. They're just like silence. So I really think like Valve needs kind of a community manager. I don't know. Have you ever played Warframe?
No.
Okay, well, basically they have hired a person to be the community manager who takes the feedback from the community. All she does all day is read forums, read the Reddit, talk to the people, and figure out what they think of the game. And then she goes talk to the developers, basically makes like a summary, be like, yeah, these are the issues, and then they fix them. You know?
Yeah.
So TF2 doesn't have that. So Val, if you're listening, I'm available. I think Sigfus too. But yeah, basically like someone you can communicate and actually get a response rather than a wall of silence. Because, you know, in this time of day when communication is really, really important with customers and providers, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I
think I can understand why Valve has kind of I mean, I don't think it's a bad, like, as a software company, you know, I don't think it's like a terrible way to handle it, because I think in some ways it's kind of good the way that their structure has worked in the past. But I think the thing is that the way that software is released nowadays, and especially when you're managing, as you said, like communities now, it's not just like software release, like you're not releasing Half-Life 2, you're releasing an update to a game. You know, I think having some communication, I think, is like so important around that it's just like, you know, I think they're just like, in some ways their structure of their company works out really well. In other ways it's horrible. And so it's like, actually, you know, Valve just got a F rating. So in America, I don't know if you know of the Better Business Bureau.
I was just gonna say that, like, the Better Business Bureau, pretty much an independent business bureau that like, hey, we're gonna rate your company, and they were like, your customer service fails. Have you ever had any experience with customer support on Steam?
No.
I have.
No.
Let me tell you what happened. All right, let me tell you what happened. I've been playing TF2 since 2009, pretty much. And I'm actually going to open this on the stream here. You won't be able to see it. But I have a stats page, and this stat page does not reflect my actual stats. Because what happened is that I used another account for doing the podcast. I don't do now. I figured out a better way to do it. But I used the second computer to do the recording. And what happened is the stats on that account and my account got swapped. And it says on my Steam page that I got all my achievements on May 16th, when that's not true. I got them legitimately through regular play before May 16th and the date, and it basically got swapped and errored. So then I was like, oh, fuck, all right, how do I do this? I look in the files, there's nothing. Okay, talk to customer support. Customer support's like, did not answer the question, just sent me an article, kind of related, but that was not my problem. So I didn't actually get answered from what I was. And then I like talked to them again, took like a week, got a response, and they were like, oh yeah, ask on the Steam forums. I was like, okay. Then I asked on the Steam forums, and Steam forums was like, yeah, talk to support. And I was like, fuck it, damn it, and couldn't fix it. Just got ping pong back and forth. And I actually work with customer support as of my day job now, and it's just astounding how much Valve really doesn't have a good communication. And the company I work for has like super high customer satisfaction and ratings and stuff, because they actually help people and don't just. I think maybe it's a bot that like has keywords and sends you articles based on those keywords. Might be what it is.
It's possible. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. So well, that
was my experience with it. Fucking terrible. Yeah. I'm sure others have had. Well, There's been people in TF2 that's gotten like really vintage, strange items because they've deleted their items, gone to support, be like, I accidentally deleted them. And they're like, oh, let's reinstate them. And because of the date or something, they turn vintage.
Right.
And then I don't know. Like on some aspects it's good, but on others it's terrible. But yeah, what I was also going to mention is like how they do the balance. Because man, I do not think TF2 has a quality assurance team. Because god damn it, there's a lot of problems in the game.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think it's just like the balance is coming from the, what do you want to call it? Like it's just like there's somebody. I think it's just somebody makes a decision. They just go, yep, that sounds good. Like
Yeah.
I highly doubt there's a lot of QA going on. And the thing is like Valve's, at least in the past, and this is the big problem that I saw that came with the update of the engineer update, or was it the engineer update that came with the money? What was the update that actually had the money? There's like you could buy stuff off a market and you could do trading.
Update.
The Mancon, yeah. So that honestly was the big downfall I saw of balancing in TF2.
Yeah, because they introduced the hats that gave the set item, and it wasn't until years later they actually removed them, and it's oh god.
Yeah, you can, if you go back and look at my Reddit post history, like way back, you can see I have big long post about how dumb this is of an idea and like why it's just like a money grab. Unfortunately, they were smart enough to understand that yep, this was in fact a really dumb idea and we only did it this one time. But even to reverse it, was kind of like took a while. But even at the fact, it's like the thing is that before the Man Economy update, I mean, maybe it's just me, sugarcoating it or like, making like look at like a golden era before then. But I recall that they would put out an update and then they would balance the weapon after the update right away. And now it's like they put out a weapon and it's like, unless it's like broken horribly, they don't touch it regardless. Because it's like people spent money on it, right? Because they have this Man Economy update. And so people spend money on the weapon, and then all of a sudden, if you change it from being, like, overpowered to being a nerf, well, then people are going to be pissed who paid for it, so you can't do that, Or if you take it from overpowered to being a side grade, Like, people are going to be pissed, and so they don't do that. And so I feel like Valve really kind of, like, as soon as that update came out, I think it really kind of took them down the wrong pathway of being, like, afraid to fix stuff and balance stuff. They just kind of put stuff out there and like, okay, well, if it's unbalanced, who cares?
I care. Have you not seen my YouTubes?
I have seen your YouTubes.
Yeah, there's actually been 3 cases where they've actually implemented my suggestions, because I do have like community balance advisor thing, which I hope to be able to get in contact with them to act like some sort of filter. Because there's a lot of people that have ideas of what's good balance, and some of them just don't know. They just don't have the experience. They play and they feel frustrated against something, and then they go type like, oh, this item needs to change, blah, blah, blah. Snipers shouldn't be able to kill other snipers, blah, blah. I've seen like all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, like balance is important. And it's important to know how you make good balance. That's why I made the formula a while back in a video, and I spent a lot of time researching stuff, so I like to think I know what I'm talking about, but I'm always open for a suggestion in case you miss something.
Right.
Speaking of balance, the new weapons, what do you think? The Quickie Bomb Launcher, Iron Bomber, and the Panic Attack.
I honestly have not played much with them. I believe it's the Panic Attack, from my understanding, is basically just like awful. I mean, I know you kind of played around with it a bit.
The thing is, like, out of the new weapons, I'm showing it right now on stream. We got the Panic Attack, 35% faster reload time, fire increases as health decreases, hold fire to load to 4 shells, and then weapon spread increases as health decreases. So this is another kind of like airstrike weapon where you're like, yeah, you do more damage, you do less damage, but you do the less damage faster, but it's still less damage. Hey. And then you got the Iron Bomber, which is always less damage or sometimes the same. And then you got the Quickie Bomb Launcher, actually is good for something. It's like anti-Demo Man, still does the damage, allows you to do some snipes and a different playstyle because you can't make traps with it. Which makes it very interesting and has like actual usage, because you can like shoot bombs up and time them as they land, so you can have more than 3 bombs out at the same time. Because if you shoot bombs on the ground, they fizzle before you've gotten the 3rd or 4th out. So you can actually, there's actually like a high level of like management, similar to the Vaccinator, if the Vaccinator was as good as it should be.
Right.
Yeah, and you also got the Eureka effect. God, that thing fucking sucks. It's like you can't stop a single soldier from killing your level 3 sentry from really far away, even with a dispenser. Like he just kills it effortlessly. Yeah. So, and then you have the lock and load. Like there's like they don't even make all of them bad. They make like lock and load. Yep, you need that extra clip because God knows he wasn't strong enough before.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing too is that Valve. The problem with TF2 is that Valve, I think, tries to treat TF2 like Dota, or like, you know, when the guys went to Valve with their ideas of community suggestions and stuff like that, and Valve came back saying we want it to be that you can pick and ban items, you know, for like Highlander or for like sixes. So then, you know, you can actually have like, that's if they made a system that was like a competitive system in TF2, they'd want you to pick and ban items. So that way then they can like see, okay, people are consistently banning the mini sentry. So clearly they think the mini sentry is overpowered. So then we should do something to make it, you know, less overpowered. And that way they can see hard data in the system to see the way people think and then balance based off these ideas. Which is right now we just have like arbitrary decisions being made. Not so arbitrary, but you know what I'm saying, like to Valve, arbitrary decisions being made.
Yeah, because it's based. Yeah, because I think the problem is that you have like an elite group that decides that, and the elite group is always going to be biased. Like the sixes players, if you started playing without unlocks, and then you're never going to get into unlocks, and they're going to hate every single unlock because it's not stock, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I always try to I always think every item should have like a place in the game, like you can change the play style, but it's really hard to keep everything balanced. Like you have some sort of vendetta against the black box, right?
Yeah, I think the black box is unbalanced right now, or
yeah,
should not be in the game.
I think it's fine, but I think you could change it to be not as good, because currently you get 15 health per person you hit in the explosion radius, regardless of damage. But I think like it should be you get 15 health if you do maximum amount of damage. Like if you do 104 damage, it's 15. If you hit him from really far, you get like 1 health or 2 health. So it's like you have to be a bit closer, but you can still heal and do pot shots and kind of heal up and stuff like that. So that would be a way of balancing it that I would agree with. And then maybe people would be like, yeah, maybe I should just use the regular stock instead, and maybe use, you know, the black box if I'm doing something. You like, because there's sometimes if you like you die in 2 rockets, right?
Generally, yeah.
Yeah,
if
I have, let's say I do 100, because they cap at 104. So if you have 200 health, I'm a soldier, you're a soldier. Right. I shoot 2 rockets at you, you die. You shoot 2 rockets at me, I die. I survive because you only do 208 damage, and I heal. So I will be left at like barely alive, and that's enough to survive every encounter with you ever.
Yep.
However, I will only be able to survive those encounters if I'm close. But if I'm farther away, you will win, because I heal less and I have a lesser clip, and you have an additional clip, so you will actually do more damage from mid to long range. So that means the black box is better at close but worse far away, and that's what you call balance. You add something and remove something. So that's that. The next thing I want to talk about is manpower. Why are they sinking resources into manpower? It's like, let's make it quick.
Yeah, I don't understand.
We added grappling hooks that completely fucks with everything, and let's make every map capture the flag a game mode that is outdated and doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, it just seems like they're just like, because they have like the robot map, you know, the RD asteroid, and then they had the new payload map that they added in, the cactus or whatever. You know, it feels like they kind of just like Valve, you know, particularly with TF2, they like to start ideas but not finish them. And I don't know, I just feel like there's like so much, like, you know, like I would much rather see a big update of them coming back going, okay, here's these 10 weapons and this is what we're going to do to fix them, you know. And again, like, I think Valve just needs to like listen to the community rather than look at the data of the community, you know, because it's like the eureka effect. Like, okay, like nobody's really going to use that truly because it's clearly not as good. Like, even if you use it in like kind of a joke playstyle, like that's the best you can get out of it.
Yeah, because
it's like a kind of a joke thing.
I always get in the comments
not viable.
When I talk about how bad eureka effect is, people are like, yeah, well, you're supposed to like be sneaking around. And there's the thing: if you get spotted, it fails every time. Right?
Yeah.
But before, it was like you can't move your buildings, and it's kind of like do or die. But then Valve's like, you need to be able to move your buildings because we like using the Rescue Ranger. Because one of our devs placed engineer, and thought that was a great idea. The problem with Valve is that or I guess you could say problem, where it's a balanced thing. It's like good and bad at the same time. Is that the people only work what they want to work on, from what we know. So that means, I think most of the core from the TF2 team has moved on to other projects. It's like, yeah, TF2's done. We're done with that. We're gonna move on to something else. And then you have like these other people who don't share that kind of. They don't know the foundation of Team Fortress 2, and they just add all this other stuff, and kind of just overpack the engine with. Miscs, and decided to add unusual effects, which I never liked from day one, and now unusual taunts and all that kind of stuff. But that's fine. It's just visual distractions. But they need like someone dedicated. I know like the people who when they do StarCraft, they have like 2 people. The only thing they do is balance the units, and that's all they do. And we know about this, and they talk to the community, and they're actually reachable. They're not like this face. So we need like some kind of filters. I think in the community, like we gather someone, so you don't get that biased opinion. Because like if you only get suggestions from me and my kind of changes, you will get my kind of version of TF2, and that's not necessarily the best one. So you need you need to see other people's opinions too. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, because I think there's not going to be a Team Fortress 3. I think there's just going to be TF2 on Source 2, and they're just like, because how do you make a sequel to characters like this? All the audio files and so much character and everything. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Also, if like moving to the Source engine, also the next Source engine, like actually like makes it optimized in many ways. I mean, TF2, Valve has stated this, and it really has proven to be true, which is that we're basically just their guinea pig. Yeah. Like they actually, I learned that apparently Valve makes a lot of money off of TF2. Like. Potential, I forget what was the numbers, if it was like more than CSGO or like as much as, like it was like something staggering for like a very old game. Yeah. Because but they just like, all right, well we're gonna add in, like I think we were one of the first games to get workshop items, directly.
Yeah, we were the first to get everything. Like we got the Manconomy, we got the hats, the skins. And
the thing is that they're not worried about breaking the game, though. I mean, that's the point. That's the ups and downside of this. Like, you kind of get some cool stuff, but at the same time, they're just like, all right, well, we'll just add it into TF2. We don't care if it becomes bloated. We don't care if it becomes optimized.
Yeah, because people are going to play it anyway because it's such a good product. And I think that's not a healthy solution to have. Like, it's like you're selling an addictive drug, and you're like, well, fuck those people. I'm going to make the drug anyway because they will always want more. Instead of being like, yeah, they already like it. Let's make it an even better product.
Yeah. I think in some ways maybe that's why, I don't know. I think TF2 would be an amazing esport, but like, I just think about that. You have 9 versus 9 live stage filled stadium. Like that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
like Highlander, I think lends itself so much to being like a good sport. But
yeah, no, actually, like if I wanted to have TF2 be an esport, I don't think 6s or 9v9 is the best format to represent the game. You need more than 9. You need to have at least two of one class in order to like fully capitalize on TF2's potential, because then you have the option like, oh, what extra are they running? You don't necessarily know that, and that adds like a lot deeper meta, I think. But it's hard enough to get 6v6 people to play at a stage, yet alone 10. 10v10 is like get 11, then we're like a full football team, or soccer as you call it, football with the feet, not the hands. Yeah, I think the Highlander is definitely the closest. I would really like to see a skill-based system on that being implemented that counted your losses and wins, and then just gives you a skill level, and then you get put with people you play with. But god damn it, TF2 lobby and the center and stuff like that, it's just so bad. People are just terrible, and you're supposed to use voice communication, but people aren't. And it's I just quit. I stopped playing on the lobbies and the centers because I have better experiences playing on a pub that I am a regular on, and the people are usually better there, and you can do all kind of fun things. So yeah, let's summarize and hope what we see. We hope to see more balance.
More balance. I don't know, just more communication, all that different stuff. But I think, and then, but also I think to some degree, like, the thing that we started off talking about, which is the TF2 kind of shows how much the community can come together in a moment of need, and also to kind of prove like how strong we are as a community, not only to put it, but to do it so quickly and so effectively and so well in such a short time frame, just because we love this game, we love this community, You know, I think that really speaks to TF2 in general, and how strong of a bond that we have as a community, even though we don't give it as much love from Valve as we want.
Yeah, TF2 has an extremely strong community. We have people of various traits and various skills, and they're all super awesome people. Maybe some of them are watching right now. Hi, awesome people. Anyway, I think that's gonna cap it up, or sum it up. Something up there you see? No?
I was just gonna do Ghost NG out.
Oh, the ghost. Oh, no, it's the ghost NG. Oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go? All right.
Never bad mini sentries. Woo! Completely balanced. Woo!
All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up. Thanks for Sigafu for sticking around on this podcast, and thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you next time. Though, stop pushing.
Later.